fire up the streams. All right. We're just I'm going to double check everybody, make sure the streams are all live. I think they are. They've been going well so far. So, double check YouTube. Looks like we got it. I'm going to turn off the title. And let's go back to Facebook. Nothing on Facebook yet.
I get a 1-minute reminder.
We're going to double check Facebook real quick.
Don't forget to check in as y'all start watching with us today. Let us know where you're from, how your morning's going, or afternoon, depending on what post you're on. Actually, 1 minute till afternoon for us too.
Yeah. I think I need to change the code for Facebook. Let's double check to make sure we're now live on Facebook. There we go. Just in time.
Just in time. Zero seconds,
hour.
right
We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Converge POE's Month of Mounts and your chance to meet the world's top mount manufacturers. As you can see, we're sitting here in the lovely gallery of mounts with the lovely Miss Maria Medell.
We installed these ourselves.
We did. And if you haven't been on YouTube watching the channel from POE, Texas, you are missing out on watching Maria mount these amazing mounts here. So
got some muscles in the process.
Oh yeah, she got ripped. So go ahead and check out the POE Texas channel for the month of mounts, where you can see Maria and I installing and doing all the work to put these mounts up in the gallery of mounts.
Yes.
So thank you for coming. And today we are meeting with this live stream is with VidaBox and Steven, who produces a high-value, very adaptable mount for any application you can come up with. So I think we should challenge him today to see if there's a case he can't support, so get your questions in there.
Definitely. So as Tyler mentioned, today we're joined with Steven Chung from VidaBox, and he's here to answer all of your guys' questions.
All right. Well, then with that, let's get this show started. All right, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, we're having trouble with our Facebook live stream. So before we bring on Steven, because I want to make sure you guys all get to meet Steven, I'm going to try and bring that live stream back up. You'll give me 1 second. Maria, I want you to sing and dance for everybody, entertain. But I feel like this is, meeting Steven is really important. So
it is. Their mounts,
I want
you can do a lot
get
of
this
cool
going.
stuff with their mount. We're going to talk about some cool applications that they've done, probably some out of the ordinary installs you might see, some specific applications. So be sure to grab your questions. I don't know if y'all want to see me sing and dance right now, but
I think they all want to see you sing and dance, Maria. All right, it looks like Facebook ended the live stream, which is weird. So I'm just going to restart it here for all y'all who are into VidaBox, which you should be. You haven't played with these products, you should be. So I'm going to come back here. I'm just going to kick off a new live stream. So I apologize for all of you who were on the old live stream. Let's get you back on. Let's go live right now.
one of the quirks of going live, you get to be essentially behind the scenes with us as we work out the kinks to get ourselves going. We're still on YouTube though, so if you're watching on YouTube, you still should be good to go.
Let's kick that off. Let's see if Facebook likes that. So far, so good. Looks like Facebook is accepting our video stream. We are live. So
Once
fantastic.
again.
We are live. Sorry for those of you on Facebook who got trapped on the other video. I'm clicking go live. Let's do, oh, it wants me to add a title now, man. Sorry, guys.
Gives everybody time to, settle in and get their drinks of water if you need some water. Always good to stay hydrated, especially in Texas summer heat. We'll say 97, but man, it'll feel like 105 real fast.
All right, I think we're live. I think we've done it. So if you're on Facebook, there we are. We're gone live. If you're on Facebook, we are meeting with VidaBox in the month of mounts to check out the gallery mounts and answer your questions. Don't worry, you haven't missed a thing. And thank you everybody from YouTube who stuck around while I dealt with Facebook. Yes. It happens occasionally. All right, so but rather than waste any more of your time, you don't want to see our ugly mugs. You want to see the handsome face of Stephen Chung, who's joining us. Hey, Stephen, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Tyler. Thanks, Maria. Thanks for having me here.
Yes, we're so glad. Stephen, can you do just a little introduction, who you are and what you do for VidaBox?
Sure. My name is Stephen Chung, Director of Sales and Marketing. And what we do here with VidaBox is that we basically have the whole idea of allowing you to be able to place any tablet anywhere and for using it at any time. We can combine it with solutions like POE Texas so that now you can have the tablet's powered at all times. You can now use it for anything from smart home controls, point of sales, self-service kiosks, especially in today's age where it's all about self-service. A lot of people are now looking for things like this where they want to be able to deploy it rapidly at any location without having to hire expensive electricians, get permits, and that's where the combo of VidaBox and POE Texas can be a very good package together.
Definitely.
I knew I liked this guy.
And I just added their landing page for you guys to check out later as well in the comment.
Fantastic. Well, rather than hear from us, because everybody's here to hear from you, Stephen, they want to know some questions. We surveyed our audience on Facebook, on LinkedIn, we even did a MailChimp, everywhere. Twitter. We asked everybody, and we got a lot of feedback on what people are interested in. We're going to ask a couple of questions from Stephen today, and then after this video, the live stream's over, we're going to keep asking him some more questions. So don't forget to join us next Wednesday for the Zoom webinar when you're going to see the best of what Stephen has to say today. And I don't know about you guys, but watching the others live streams, the information has been immensely valuable.
Absolutely.
So definitely make that. Marie's going to put a link into the chats to make sure you can register for that Zoom webinar next week where Stephen will be back with his best of the best. But now let's ask Stephen some really good questions. So a big question that a lot of people want to know is if you're doing a tablet install, you've invested in an iPad or a tablet, and they're not cheap, right?
Not at all.
How do you secure the tablets into your mount? And you had some nice pictures I'm going to bring up. Let me know when you're ready to see those.
Sure. So we actually have two main designs. The first one is called an on-wall slim mount. That's where the first video, that's how we'll be bringing up shortly, will be showing. So with this particular design, it actually allows you to be able to easily remove it from the wall. So if we run it from the beginning, as you can see, the faceplate covers off, and now the tablet can be popped out. So this particular design allows easy tablet removal. It's a non-secure design. But if you're looking for using it in a place like your own home or a doctor's office where everybody there is basically knows each other, where theft isn't an issue, then it's okay. Then we also have secure designs, which is actually much more popular, what we can show with the clamshell photo on photo number 1. With that particular design, essentially it now acts as a clamshell around the tablet. So what happens is the back piece that's there, there's actually a complete wraparound on the entire tablet. So if we start up the video, number 2, you should be able to see how the entire design wraps around the tablet so that now the power button, volume button, etc., it's all covered. The whole design is actually secured by not just a simple lock, but by multiple screws. This is actually one of the biggest reasons why we're very popular with security conscious installations. The fact is, it's practically impossible to make something that's 100% theft deterrent and theft proof. But what you can do is to essentially buy time so that somebody looks at this and realizes, oh, you know what, it's going to be very difficult to essentially steal the tablet. They're going to be able to then move on to something else. And of course, by being able to wrap the entire tablet around our enclosure, we now can manage the wiring, cables, etc., for it to be exited out at a proper location. So kind of like the glass mount pictures that you showed from before, now we have a clean looking install that doesn't have any like wires sticking out and things like that.
Perfect, perfect. And that kind of leads us right into the next question, Stephen. What are best practices for mounting enclosures in tough locations like glass walls, mullions? What do you tell your customers?
Sure. Yeah, so we actually take a little bit of a different approach when it comes to glass mounts. So as you can see in the photo that's there right now, we actually have glass mounts that are more based on mounting directly onto the glass by using adhesive permanent bonding strip kits. I don't know if you can bring up one particular web page I sent the link to earlier, but essentially the whole idea is that allows us to be able to be much more versatile. So you don't have to worry about being stuck with any one particular tablet. But if you take a look on the right-hand side where it says choose your tablet, if we go back up a little bit on the right-hand side, so any of those tablets that are listed there, whether it's an iPad, Samsung Galaxy Tab, if we scroll down further on the list, you'll see that we also support things like Windows Surface tablets as well. So our products cover the entire gamut, and you can select it and be able to choose from a various number of different colors. And what's really nice about what we do is that you actually also be able to secure it further if you're really, really concerned about security by supplementing the adhesive bonding strip kits that we have with additional epoxies, or kind of where the mouse is over is a highlighting previously, we were looking at security options as well. So if we're really concerned about somebody stealing it, it actually is very easy to bond onto a piece of glass, and you don't have to worry about drilling onto a mullion. Because the other aspect to consider as well is that over the next, say, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, chances are the tablet's going to be phased out. It may be replaced by something else. And by having something that's a little bit more versatile than a standard mullion mount design allows us to be able to support that many more products, regardless of what type of tablet that you have.
Great answer, Stephen. You're on fire today, man.
He was ready.
He was ready.
Excited. He's ready to go.
All right, cool. Well, so you were talking a little bit about some of the costs and the accessories, and this is a question. Cost came up across the board. Everybody is cost conscious. Now, I don't think when we talk to the audience, it's not necessarily that customers say, we just want, every piece, drive down the price.
Right.
Where our audience is most interested in is the total installed cost. Do you have any recommendations on, if I'm doing a rollout or a big deployment, how can I improve my total installed cost?
Sure. So there's a couple of aspects that we generally recommend looking at, and three things in particular. First is choice of app, then the cost of labor, then the screen size. So before we get into more of these details, the good news is by simply using a tablet instead of a dedicated touch panel, you're already saving potentially thousands of dollars equivalent, because now you're using a tablet by itself along with mounting hardware and stuff. So that's it. The biggest chunk of the cost is actually in the tablet itself, whether it's an iPad, Galaxy Tab, Surface tablet, or Amazon Fire. So in a lot of cases, people jump directly and say, oh, you know what? I saw the Amazon Fire on sale for $50. Let me just start off with that. But the problem is, though, sometimes the apps that they're looking to use isn't supported. So that's why the first thing we always mention is make sure you choose the app carefully. In a lot of instances, you can do what's called side-loading APKs. So what ends up happening is that you could spend additional time configuring and changing an Amazon Fire and making it work, for your setup. But the problem is, though, now it goes in the second aspect, which is cost of labor. Well, as you guys know, cost of labor isn't cheap. So what we try to recommend people looking up into is not just the upfront one-time cost. It's almost like buying a car. You also have to really take a look at, in a long-term scheme of things, how much does it cost to maintain beyond and above what you paid initially. Because, for example, if you are doing things like sideloading APKs into an Amazon Fire, but now you have to do manual updates. If there's security updates, now you got to go to 1 tablet, 2 tablets, 3 tablets. So what ends up happening that we see a lot is if it's a small deployment, meaning like in single digits up to a dozen, most people are okay with using the Amazon Fires because they are less expensive. But as the number of setups grow, we actually kind of see more and more people gearing towards iPads, primarily because you have third-party support like Jamf and other mass device management tools. So you can say, all right, well, for these 1,000 tablets that are already registered, the second they're powered on, they're going to have integrated onto their memory the Wi-Fi passwords, certain apps are installed, certain credentials are set up, and now instead of somebody going from tablet to tablet and you're paying that person anywhere from, say, $15, $20, $25 an hour, now you're saving quite a bit by spending more money on a more expensive tablet up front. But lastly, the most important thing too, if we take a look at even, say, a Galaxy Tab, we could start off with, let's just say, like a Galaxy Tab A 10.1, which are the larger ones. I think they're great, very, very nice looking. On sale, you could probably find them for like low 200s, maybe 250 on a normal day. But then what happens, though, is if you're able to get away with a smaller screen and you're not using it for something where the buttons on the interface is really key and critical in terms of size, you can save quite a bit by going to an 8-inch or a 7-inch, and so on.
That's great feedback. Yeah, I love that suggestion. Consider the screen size. That makes a big difference.
Definitely, even with power too.
Yeah, even with power, your power consumption and what you're doing with POE. That is awesome. Okay, so Stephen, I want to give you a chance now to come out to everybody and confess. Have you found an application where you haven't been able to get a mount in there? And if not, which I'm sure you're going to say, what's been the most complicated or interesting mount you've pulled off?
Sure. So the honest answer for that is point of sale. There are a lot of instances where customers are looking for and asking for things like, oh, I have a MagTech, I have a U-Dynamo, I want to be able to plug it in. The fact is, because as you saw in earlier, we actually wrapped the entire tablet around with our enclosure. All those ports are sealed off. So on the bad news side is if somebody's looking for a credit card swiper on that design, unfortunately, we can't really help you that much. But the good news is everything is actually leaning away from that. It's interesting you bring that up because I have with me a little dock for Square Reader. And this is actually one of the more popular setups that a lot of people are setting up with our tablets now. What happens is, especially now COVID, or rather, let me take a step back. Pre-COVID, most people would go into a store, they would buy something, and when they're done with the transaction, they would hand the credit card over to the other person. The other person takes it and takes it back, and then that's the end of the transaction. So you do have a need for a connected swiper, chip reader, whatever, at that point of sale. Now it's actually 100% the opposite. The clerk doesn't want to touch your stuff. You don't want them to touch your stuff. So it's like everybody stay away from each other. So it ends up working out well where now you have a setup, something, like, one of these where you have this mounted now onto a desk where if I'm the clerk, now I'm actually basically now typing in your information, I'm done. And then at the same time, facing the customer could be something like a dock for Square Reader or a standard Ingenico or one of the standard credit card readers out there that's customer facing. So moving forward, we've actually found that, yes, in terms of legacy setups and supporting that, that's not something that we do well. But moving forward, anybody that's looking to upgrade their setups and stuff, we can actually handle that quite well because now you have people that are not looking to use integrated credit card swipers anymore. They're going to have a separate part that's customer facing while there's a separate tablet that's now facing the company rep.
And I'll just throw this out there, Stephen. For you, we are about to launch our GAT USB-C PD, the one that works with your mounts, with a USB-A hub port. So you could plug in remotely.
I was wondering when the spoiler was going to come. Tyler always has
Dang
spoilers.
It! She caught me.
Always has the spoilers.
I've spoiled it. Cool. Well, Stephen, you have provided amazing information. This is great for all of you guys out there who are listening in. Write this stuff down. What Stephen is telling you is fantastic. So Stephen's going to stick around. I'm going to ask him a few more questions. But we're going to take this now and get some good stuff for the webinar next week. Stephen, you have been a fantastic guest host on our show today. Thank you very much for coming. We're going to wrap it up, and then I'll be right back with you, Stephen. So let me get that done. There we go. We are having some fun technical times today. So
Yes.
Thank you very much to Stephen. The information you gave today was fantastic.
It was, and let us know what y'all thought. Are there any specific projects you want to see us do, or maybe team up with VidaBox to do? Just let us know. You can message us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of the above. We're kind of everywhere.
Even Amazon, I'll spoil
Amazon,
it.
that's true. Even Amazon. And finally, if you did enjoy this show or found it useful, make sure to give it a like. That's how you let Tyler and myself know that you did enjoy this type of show, and share it with your colleagues or partners. If you share this type of content, you can really build your credibility as an expert in your field. And we'll be back tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time with the team at SmartThings to learn more about their award-winning German design tablet solutions. And don't forget to sign up for the Zoom webinar. It's in the comment below, so you can add your RSVP to the Meet the Makers conglomerate of all of the makers next Wednesday.
Yep. Thanks for coming. We will see you at the next live stream.
See y'all next time.